Okay, guys, welcome to the Zapata Brand podcast. We have a short little podcast. It is late tonight. I got back real late, but I reached out to my brothers. We got Jersey Jay-Z and Coach Diz. We're just waiting for them to come up on the line. When they do, there they are. Right now, they're going to come right in. Coach Diz on the top, Jersey Jay-Z at the bottom. We're going to go over a few things that we've been doing the last couple days. But first, as we always do, we're going to do some shout-outs and some house cleaning first. The first one has nothing to do with you guys, actually. The first one is for Randy Davis. There's a benefit, a birthday memorial for him. The young man got killed riding an ATV. The Salem Police Department is doing a birthday memorial drive. All the gifts that they get are going to go to the women's shelter, Beyond Violence. So they ask you to please bring a gift that you would normally give to a child for a birthday, and bring it there, and they'll give it away to someone who's in need. Michelle, my wife, had him as a student in second grade, and he unfortunately had a tragic accident not too long ago. Chief McNeil reached out to me today, asked me if I would go to the podcast and put it out there. Anybody needs to get in touch with me, please reach out to me at podcast@thezapatabrand.com. Tell me if you need something that I can take to them, or if you want to make a monetary donation, go to the Salem Police Department there to they really need a help with funeral expenses. So if you could do that, please do that. After that, real quickly, we'll go right into that. Now, it's unfortunate that we had to start the podcast that way, but it is what happened. Michelle we've given a donation to that as a company. So if you can, at some point, it's the Salem Township Police Department here in Berwick. It's down by the nuclear plant. They're doing a benefit drive for him, and it's a birthday. It's a unique one. It's birthday memorial. His birthday is coming up, and they're going to just give out gifts to the Beyond Violence. So let's get things a little bit better at this point. But let's do some more shout outs. A shout out, Dave Palumbo, RX Muscle. He is if you go to his Jay-Z, Jersey Jay-Z, you'd probably be better to describe his podcast, but he has given us a lot of love the last few weeks alongside Greg Valentino. If you could do that, please. Where's Dave at?
Dave's on RX Muscle. He also is the president of Species Nutrition. So they got some great supplements. So I just advise everybody, just go to RX Muscle. Listen to Dave.
Subscribe to their podcast, their YouTube channel too. Dave's been doing this for a long time with Greg and John on there too. So I think that he does a great job there. And he was kind enough to give us a shout out on behalf of Greg. And that's something we appreciate too here. So the third shout out today is an old friend of ours. He's an NYPD. I don't know if he's retired. He told me he was going to retire.
He is retired.
Ferret. He's retired?
Yes, he retired.
Well, good for him. Antoine Ferret, subscriber. He is a follower. He likes, he shares. Great guy. I've known him for years. I saw pictures of him, his beautiful family, and we're going to give him a shout out because we're going to show him some love. He has been supportive since day one. He had put out a post reached out to me on Facebook and said, "Hey, I heard you doing a podcast," and right out of the gate offered, to buy merchandise and what have you. We do have them on sale at podcast@thezapatabrand.com. He was one of the first to offer and subscribe to our show. So we have to make that announcement too, because he's just a good guy. This one, Jay-Z, you're gonna have to take care of. Andrew Maisie, I know from everything. And yeah, Maisie is here. There's a kid here named Andrew Maisie. That's why I knew I was gonna mess that up. But Andrew Massey, I know him as Everything Bagel with Cream Cheese from our bagel year.
Well, he's actually a good friend of mine. He's a workout partner, and when he gets a chance, he's a good friend, good supporter, and he just likes and subscribes.
Yeah, and all these guys are subscribers, and they support us at any chance they can. So that's really important to keep our channel going. We are getting closer to that 500 subscriptions in order for us to get super chats and whatever. But we want to get to that 1,000 subscribers. And I've told Dennis, Coach Diz knows that when we get to that 1,000 mark, all the money that we get, I'm going to reinvest this into the business. Obviously, we have bills to pay. We'll take care of that first. I'm fortunate that I have a different stream of income that I can support this. But we will make sure, and we're going to do a special thing where we're going to go in and we're going to pick a family that is struggling, similar to how we did growing up, and we're going to pay something for them, whether it be a light bill, an oil bill, a month of their mortgage, whatever it is, and get that, do that back for our community. Because if we can get to 1,000, that helps us and we grow. So that's important for us right out of the gate here. And being that we're only 1 month in, that ain't bad. That is not bad.
It's not bad at all.
That's really good.
I see a lot of people that 100, 150 subscribers that are big, that have big websites and a big podcast, and they have big guests. Now we've had a couple of big guests. We got a few more coming up, but I'm here late tonight, and the reason why I was late tonight, Landon had his game, and it was against Southern Columbia. The rivalry here in Berwick, and boy, Landon had a rough game. He had a rough game.
What was the stat line for Landon?
I think his yardage was in the negative. I think it's not, but that was a tough team there. They won 26-24, I believe this final score was. But the Cleaver boys dominated. Braden and Bryce dominated the game. Gabe Deck, he had a great game. And then also there's a subscriber there, Adam Wingler. He subscribes, and he was walking off the field. I didn't know who he was. Said, "Hey," he might have called me Mr. Zapata for all I know. And he said, "I subscribe to your podcast." Where he made a great catch coming across the middle, and I think this team is actually not bad, and they might do some things in the next couple of years. They really put together pretty good team there.
So this is the thing, that they're growing that team for high school football. When they get to high school and stuff like that.
Ultimately what they have to do,
and that's good. From moving from New Jersey to here, it's totally different. Jay-Z, you don't know, but high school football in Pennsylvania is just totally different compared to like our high school days. That's why I think getting a foundation right now and going up through the levels is the best way. And Berwick does a good job with that.
Yeah, they certainly do. I think a lot of the time we would go back to the 80s and 90s when they were really good, and it's just things catch up. Teams have caught up to them, and now they're kind of they're kind of run of the mill right now. They haven't won a lot of games, a lot of titles in the last few years, but they're definitely doing better. Definitely on the right track. Put it that way. They're on the right track. So let's get into the meat and potatoes here of our podcast today. Jersey Jay-Z, you came in and said that you were going to do a little bit. Had a couple of questions we wanted to ask to get some time together.
Some questions, and they wanted me to give them to you. I gave them to you earlier, but it was about our Mount Rushmore of boxing, wrestling. So why don't we start off with the Mount Rushmore of boxing? Who was yours and Dennis's?
Well, I can tell you a few things. That is extremely hard, because it's different eras. It's a totally different era. So if you were going to sit there and take a Mount Rushmore of boxing, in my opinion, and I would say at the top, the best fighter I ever saw who I ever saw, because it's a different era, and I didn't see anybody, was Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah,
he's the top guy that I've ever seen, me personally, because I don't like to compare those. I can't compare those because the stuff that they have now, there is way different than they had back then. The methods of training, the nutrition they have, the performance enhancing drugs, it's way different than it is now. Now it's a totally different ball game, and there's so much more. There's so much more access to that than there was before. Like who would have ever thought of a nutritionist?
And it's another thing that's big is the recovery. They back in the day they had to have 2 jobs just to support the salaries. They make so much money now; they can focus totally on that.
Right. So I'll run it through real quick. Floyd Mayweather would be my top.
Okay.
Second, I've always thought that Oscar De La Hoya was underrated. It was always underrated.
We talked about that before.
Yeah, he's underrated, but I put him up there, but I don't know if it would justify that. Canelo, I'm saying in my generation, because I know I'm going to get a lot of hate. Canelo would be another one. And then personally, so you got Canelo. I like Chavez. I did like Chavez a lot.
Cesar
Chavez, I liked him a lot. I thought he was a great fighter. And I really, I'll take Evander Holyfield because he was my guy. But Mount Rushmore in the heavyweight division, I'm not sure. But overall, those are the fighters that I would pick as being the best that I've ever seen. That
Okay.
I think are the best. Now that it could really range differently. Some people that are older will say, well, Sugar Ray Leonard, but these are the people that I saw. And it's funny that you asked that question, because Mikey Garcia was just asked that question by Alex Sekpak, and he gave a list like Mayweather, Chavez, because he said that's who I grew up with. That's who I thought was the greatest. I don't know how they would do against Ray Robinson. I don't know how he had said that Tyson Fury. I don't know how he would do against Joe Louis. Nobody knows. It's hard to gauge that. Plus the size difference too is big size difference there for them.
Yeah.
So yours were George. What was yours again?
I had Floyd Mayweather, Julio Cesar Chavez. I had Oscar De La Hoya. I had Evander Holyfield.
Okay.
And who else did I pick that was good?
I mean, that was big.
I had one more. I forget. But this goes to show you the CTE is starting to kick in early.
Okay.
So those are really my top
four. Yeah. Okay.
Heavyweights. Obviously, I would say Mike Tyson. For the person that I saw.
Okay.
That would be that I saw. But that's really where I think that it was important for me. Like I said. So, Coach D, your opinion.
So my four, I would have Floyd Mayweather. Everybody knows his record speaks for itself. And I throw something out there. Roy Jones Jr. That's someone that I saw.
You know what? I'd have to put him there too. That'll be my fifth. Roy Jones.
Okay. Yeah, Roy Jones. Then who? So let's see. I would probably, I know you guys are probably gonna say Tyson Fury Klitschko. Klitschko was dominant in his era.
He was dominant.
No one could beat him. Right when he went with Emmanuel Stewart, that's when he just took it to the next level. So that was who? I had Floyd, Roy Jones, Klitschko. If I'm just gonna go one more, I'll be honest with Pacquiao.
Yeah, there's so many for me that I really missed there, but those are the people again.
But that's the thing. There's so many. I mean, if we're gonna talk about people that changed the game, you have to throw Muhammad Ali in there. You have to throw Tyson in there. George Foreman. There's so many you can throw out there. But my four would be Floyd, Roy Jones, Klitschko, and my last person. Who did I say? I totally forgot too.
Tyson, didn't you?
No. I said Klitschko, Floyd, Roy Jones, and
I thought you said Tyson. But...
No, I didn't say Tyson.
Wow.
So there you go.
It could be any.
It could be any of them.
And again, you say Mount Rushmore. It's a little easier for me to do our. Jay-Z, do you have a Mount Rushmore of boxers?
See, I would go for the classic. I would say Tyson. I would pick Ali just because of Ali. But I hear Joe Louis and Sugar Ray Robinson, but I didn't see them.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And again,
my last person was Pacquiao.
Pacquiao, that's right. So again, here are guys that you're putting in perspective of how can you get rid of one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one more. If they keep on going the way they go, Bud Crawford. If he beats Canelo, it's over.
Yeah. Hey, let's get there first. Let's get there.
Yeah,
first. I know. I hate on Crawford, but this happens a lot when someone has a really good fight.
We all know that. If
really good fight, then they kind of say that he's the next best thing. Whether he is or not, his next fight's going to show. Is this guy the real deal or not?
Yeah.
And that'll be the next one to there. So, Jay-Z, you have yours. You're just going with the classic.
Yeah, I'm going with the classic group.
So this is this next topic of the Mount Rushmore of wrestling, pro wrestling, not amateur wrestling, not that stupid stuff. It's for the real WWF. We call it the WWF. I'll keep it calling it WWF. And because WWE, I don't really watch. WWF was when wrestling was wrestling. Entertainment, it was great. It was must see TV.
Oh
And
yeah, we
now
used to
it's
talk
kind of
about it all the time.
now
Because
it's
that's
kind
when
of
you first moved up here, and I would be watching with Jay Z at our apartment, and we would talk about it. You watch SmackDown, you watch Raw, this and that, going all that. So
And half
the what was
they-
it? The Attitude Era, something
Yeah, they
like
Attitude
that.
Era was great.
yeah.
So Mount Rushmore, let me get that going right away, right out of the top. Now, here's the difference with this. If you're looking at the Mount Rushmore, who's changed the business, who's made the most money, or is the best wrestler, okay, I would say go with who has changed the business, made the most money, per se. Number one has to be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
He changed the business to a whole different level, crossover star and again, other people did too on my list, but he was the first real one who crossed over that. He was men, women, everybody. He went across the board, and he was great. Second, Hulk Hogan, because he brought the kids into it. He did bring the mainstream media also. Get that crossover effect. Still to this day, he was just on the Joe Rogan show.
Yeah.
He's still as popular as ever. Three, obviously Ric Flair. Ric Flair did the same thing to us in the South, though. His thing was more North Carolina, the Carolinas, up to probably down in Florida, probably about there, and that was probably it. That was probably where they are. But he was very good. Four, I would say, and I know it's a really, really, really strange one. My four is very strange. I think Sting.
I think.
I'll tell you why.
Wow.
Because he kept WCW alive in that Attitude Era.
Yeah,
Remember, he
true.
kept that alive.
He always said he would never come over to WWF. Never
No, but
leave
he
that
did.
company.
But he did. And
eventually, he was basically forced. I mean, there was nothing. There wasn't WCW anymore.
Yeah, but I couldn't believe some of the stuff that was going on. I couldn't believe, that they didn't push him more. He could have been a real big superstar, and they didn't.
Yeah.
They kept that same nucleus of the NWO, and it got so out of hand. They really lost that one right there. They really had something. They had lightning in the bottle, and they didn't use it. And he would have been a huge superstar. Fifth, of course, The Rock. I think his career is a little short to make that kind of judgment, but I think he has to be on there, obviously, because of what he's done outside of. I mean, look what he's done outside of pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Coach Diz, what do you think?
So mine is going to be a little different. Of course, you got the Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock, Ric Flair. I'm going to throw Bret Hart out there.
Bret Hart, okay.
I'm going to, because he was more. Yep, he's more technical. I mean, but that's who I'm going to go with. Stone Cold, Rock, Hogan, and Flair. That's what I.
Okay, well, so we got that one there.
I mean, it's right on there. I mean, there's really so many.
They're all really on the same page. Jersey Jay-Z, what do we got?
I agree with you, George. The only thing is I'm going to switch The Rock but put Andre.
Wow, Andre.
Why
Andre?
Yeah, why Andre?
I just think he was the real first big crossover star internationally. Between going to Japan, he was the first one to do the movie Princess Bride, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Let's pick Andre.
Here's the thing. I never really liked Andre. I didn't. You knew he was going to win. You knew he was going to win the battle royal. Everybody knew that.
Yeah.
That was the only difference with Andre. I didn't really. Roger really did nothing for me, quite honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Quite honestly, did. But now the next subject we're going to have is an interesting one, because you really weren't around.
No, but I have a couple I can throw out there.
We're gonna do the Mount Rushmore of wrestling jobbers only, though. These were guys that would be introduced, and you knew when that guy was coming, when his opponent was coming to the ring, it was gonna be about 40 seconds, pile driver, suplex, match over, and he goes to the back. There are some legendary jobbers in this world. And some that are probably still active, and some that actually made a career of being a jobber and did very well. right off the top, SD Jones, always my favorite.
That's classic.
SD
That's
Jones,
a classic.
Great technical wrestler, but just never quite could get over the bump. Secondly, Rusty Brooks. Love Rusty Brooks just because he reminded me of you, Diz. Rusty Brooks was just a guy who was grossly overweight, and he just was a terrible jobber. Terrible jobber. I like 3, Iron Mike Sharp. Now, Iron Mike Sharp was a guy.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
Right, the late Iron Mike Sharp. But Rusty Brooks is dead too, and so is SD Jones. The late Iron Mike Sharp. Now I say him because I think he was one of these jobbers who you have a slight chance of winning, but he couldn't win, and he was always great. He was always great, very entertaining guy. 4th guy, Barry Horowitz. You got to have Barry Horowitz in there. He has the pat on the back. Yeah. He hadn't won for, I couldn't tell you how long. He hadn't won a match for the longest streak, and he was just essentially one of these guys that couldn't even go through without winning anything at some point. 5th, that's a tough one. The 5th is a tough one, but I will go with Playboy Reddy Rose. That guy, he was incredible. An incredible guy. He was.
You forgot out one that I thought you were going to say. I don't know if Jay-Z did you hear what he was talking.
Go ahead.
Okay. I think you forgot the Brooklyn Brawler. That's one that I remember.
I like him. What? Steve Lombardi. Brooklyn Brawler was better than Steve Lombardi as a jobber. If you're gonna be a jobber, then be Steve Lombardi. Brooklyn Brawler did nothing for me when he fought the Red Rooster, and that's garbage. That really it watered it down a little bit.
But SD is on the top for I think everybody.
Has to be on the top there. So, Coach D, give me yours. Give me your quick one.
I only got like 2. I wasn't really around that much,
Yeah, your guys.
I don't remember. So I know Brooklyn Brawler, SD Special Delivery Jones, Barry Horowitz, who you said was great. I forgot about that name.
Oh, I have another one. I have another.
And I can't even think. I couldn't even think of anybody more. Jay-Z, you can take this one.
I'm gonna put in there a special.
Well, let him do
asterisk on mine too.
Okay, let him do his, and then you can throw back.
I think SD Jones definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But Barry Horowitz, Salvatore Bellomo.
Oh yeah, Salvatore Bellomo.
I saw YouTube get pinned by Bobby Heenan, a manager. That's pretty bad. Salvatore Bellomo and AJ Petrucci.
Oh,
hey, you got one more.
I haven't even heard that one.
Coach Diz was AJ Petrucci a few times when I beat him up. One more, Jay-Z. Give me one more. I got one too.
Mario Mancini.
Gotta like Mario Mancini. He's I've seen a couple of shoot interviews with him.
Yeah, he's been on.
How about this one? Jay-Z, me and you met this guy. And I don't think you remember. Coach Diz, you met him too.
I don't remember.
Jim Powers.
Jose Luis Rivera.
Oh wow, that's right, Jose Luis Rivera.
We had a tan Cadillac.
Yeah, Jose.
Autographs.
So let me ask you, where did we meet them? I mean, in wrestling, Meadowlands.
Okay. Yeah.
Was that the day Ricky Steamboat picked me up?
Yeah, I'd love to see Ricky Steamboat try to pick you up now. That would be he'd have another stroke. That would be it. So, what's been happening? What's going on today? What have you guys been up to? I don't know. We'll get those out of the way. Those Mount Rushmores and stuff out of the way. What the hell's been going on? Is there anything happening?
Well, I just got off the phone with somebody big, another person that we'll tell you about later, who wants to do the StreamYard. So,
yeah, the StreamYard's been pretty good actually. It's been,
and he is a pro wrestler.
Okay, good. Right, I love pro wrestlers and I like to do interviews. This stuff here is pretty good because we can kind of get some stuff and keep content on the channel. But
when he called me up, I was like, oh my god, who's this? And then it was him. And as soon as I heard him talk, I knew it was him.
Was it Abdullah?
No, it wasn't
Abdullah the Butcher. I can tell you that.
Was not.
You know who I'd like to have on?
Who?
George Gray, Akeem, the African Dream, One Man Gang.
Yeah.
I'd like to have him on.
Okay.
Yeah,
part of what tag team was he?
It's Twin Towers.
Yep, that's you and George now.
No, we're more like the natural disasters.
Yeah, I lean earthquake and typhoon. You being earthquake, me being typhoon.
Yeah, earthquake and typhoon.
No, definitely not, definitely not that, and not so much. Jay-Z, you talked to have you talked to Greg today?
I did not talk to him today, but like I said, he said he wants to talk to you about setting up something.
We're definitely look, I'm definitely doing something with him. StreamYard. This I can't tell you how much
this is going to
StreamYard
be
can change.
Yeah, it's going to be a
the way
game
we
changer.
do
Now,
things.
I heard that you had contact with the judge that actually.
Well, with the judge that actually gave him a break.
Wow,
If I can get them two together,
that would be great.
that would be a phenomenal thing. Now, I don't know if this judge is 90 or 70,
Oh, wow.
or if he even knows how to open up a computer. That's what I worry about.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I think we meet him and get that together. That or the guy that Greg beat the piss out of, the stutterer.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe get them on the screen. Settle that beef. Let's settle that beef. But I mean, there's a lot of little things we can do here. I mean, you got some stuff with Greg that I think you could do,
Yep.
lifting wise. And again, I'm sorry that I'm like low energy. I've been up for about 40 hours straight.
Wow.
40.
Well, we probably have to wrap it up.
What's that? No, I'm okay here. I'll wrap it up in about 5 minutes. But
Okay.
I want to see where you think this is, where we're going with this, because there's a lot of. We have Jeremy Hassel down the pipe. I just got off the phone with him. We have another guy that's going to be interviewing me for his podcast. We're reaching out to another 2 guests that are big, and Alize Johnson. We'll get on at some point. We just can't meet up. It's a tough. He was going to come on last night at 10. I just couldn't do it. I could not.
So this is the thing, I talked to him on Friday, and we tried to set it up in 2 days.
Yeah,
it's very hard when he was going out of country and stuff like that. So he tried, but hey,
we'll definitely get him on. He was very apologetic to what had happened. I know Jersey Jay-Z is working on another guest. But again, he's going to go to the Chile.
You better work on that internet over there.
That internet is the worst thing I've ever seen. I thought mine was bad. I thought mine was bad here. Jay-Z, yours goes out more times than the electricity at our house. I mean,
No, it's
out constantly.
Actually, there's a reason why, but that's okay. I shut off the camera once in a while.
Oh, okay.
What?
I'll tell you later.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay, all right.
So hey, you know what a quick thing was? We're coming around school, right? You know what's overrated? What do you think is one of the biggest overrated? School clothes. Buying school clothes. That's overrated. You know why now? They all wear sweatpants.
Yes,
they
all do.
Wear hoodies.
They all
I mean, I remember back in the day, it was like, oh, we had to go to Kmart. We got to go to stuff on layaway.
What were you talking about?
Yeah,
going to school clothes.
Yeah, none of the kids wear school clothes. They all wear sweatpants.
I mean, we were lucky. Mark Mayer was the same size as us. I mean, my God, it wasn't like that.
But yeah, that's one of the things I was thinking about. I was like, it's just overrated now.
It is overrated. I mean, the kids wore the same thing all year round anyway. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was just honestly, they went down to the Carolinas, my ex-wife, and took the kids, and they did their clothes shopping there
at the outlets.
It was tax-free weekend.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, but there's no tax here in Pennsylvania.
I do remember the one time I did wear your polo shirt to school one day. Do you remember that? I remember like it was yesterday. You came home and you, I did. Yeah, it was one of your favorite polo shirts with the colors.
I'll tell you this. The best dressed guy in our family there for a while there was Jay-Z. Jersey Jay-Z would go to the oak tree and spend his paycheck on that. With the $40 that he would get out of the paycheck.
Yeah, that's true.
He would go to the oak tree there in the Promise Park Mall. Great place. Yeah. Is that still there?
No.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's not?
No.
When did it close?
Well, that store's not there. Promise Park Mall is still there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, oak tree. I was like, geez. I know he did a lot of remodeling over there, but
yeah. No, I know. Well, we're gonna wrap this up a little bit here. Couple things, last couple things. Coach Diz, what do you got coming up this weekend? If you can, tell us what you got going on this weekend.
So I'll be training Leo again this weekend, and also I'll be coming back to the bagel shop. Maybe do another podcast. That's 3 in a row.
Are you doing 3?
3 in a row. 3 weeks.
You're frozen on the screen, so maybe you got to work on that friggin' internet.
Am I?
Yeah, you are.
It looks great. Wow.
Yeah, you look goofy as hell. Your mouth was wide open.
Is it still messed up now?
No, your mouth was wide open, which is typical for you. The only thing you miss is a cheeseburger.
No cheese. Come on,
No
cheese.
cheese to burn you off, boy. Forget those times. But you got any social media you can send out there? If anyone wants to get a hold of you?
They could just get a hold of me through the podcast, email if they want to get a hold of anything. We'll set up some interviews. That's what we're looking to do right now.
Okay. And Jersey Jay-Z, what do we got going on with you today?
Same thing. We're just trying to get the interviews going, trying to get our QR code out there.
Oh, yeah, yes. That's right. The QR code. Jersey Jay-Z, if you put it on your Facebook page or your Instagram, I don't know what you have.
Yep.
To put that out there. We got about 10 hits today of people just with the QR code. And that was really big because it put us up to that 460 mark. We got to get to that 1,000 subscribers. We really do. It's important for the channel. It's going to grow, makes our channel grow. But then we can get those guests in here. I want to speak to these guys. I want to tell them, what my story is, and I want to hear their story. And with us all getting in on the podcast, that'd be very good. Now, I will say that I want to give out our social media. It's the Zapata Brand Podcast. It's on YouTube. We have the Zapata Brand that I just put into iTunes and Spotify. It takes about 24 to 48 hours to upload. The first episode of Mark Nestle is up there. I don't know if I'm going to take these ones and put them up or just keep them on the channel. I don't know yet. I got to see because you only get a certain amount you can upload right now.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. You only
what is it, per week or something? Or overall?
It's a month. They do it monthly. I think you have 60 hours a month.
Okay.
You can upload.
Greg's so Greg can't. Yeah. Just going to say, can't have Greg's on it.
So we're down to like 5 left.
We're doing one. If Greg was there, it's once a month.
Once a month. It's called instead of Shark Month, it's Greg Month. Greg Month at the Zapata Brand Podcast. But our social media is the Zapata Brand Podcast on Instagram. We are the Zapata Brand Podcast on TikTok. I just did a TikTok account. I don't know how the hell to use it though.
Will you be dancing on that?
No, it's something else on there. No.
So let me ask you, if they get 1,000 subscribers, would we have a little bet with something? Maybe like a weigh-in or something.
Oh, I'll do that.
We got to do something.
I'll win that. We get to that 1,000 subscribers. We're gonna do a weigh-in. All of us in our underwear.
All right, we'll do that.
We'll lose subscribers real quick.
No,
so we'll figure something out there. But we do. But again, a couple of things that are real important when you talk about the Randy Davis birthday benefit memorial. He was a young kid who was in a side-by-side. I believe it was a side-by-side all-terrain vehicle. Got into an accident. Just that quickly, your life can change. So the kids that are listening to this podcast, the kids that are out there, I know they are listening and subscribing. Please wear your helmets. Michelle was devastated by this. She had him in school. He was at 2nd grade. He was going to 4th or 5th grade, I believe. Nice kid. Never heard a bad thing about him. And just like that, everything changes. Changes for their family, their mom and dad. And if you can give anything over there, it's in the Salem Township Police Department. They're doing a benefit for him there, and that is September. I have it here. I think it's September 5th. It is September. Don't mind me here going.
Well, September 4th is Labor Day, so that's Monday.
I'm gonna say now. I think it is going to be September 5th. It is September 5th from 5 to 8 p.m. September 5th, 5 to 8 p.m. If you could go to the Salem Memorial. The Salem Township Police Department for the Randy Davis birthday memorial. All the gifts they get are going to a good cause. It's going to the Beyond Violence. So please do that. Like and subscribe. We really need your subscribers. Share. Put them out there. Give it to your friends. Get the QR code. Go to the website. Or go to our social media. It'll be on there. Just scan it and subscribe. That's all you gotta do. It's free. It's free. Do that, please, for us. Anyway, Jersey Jay-Z, get your internet fixed. Coach Diz, I will see you on Saturday. I'm going to try to get a podcast up tomorrow, do a little something here, trying to get someone hooked up. And for me, I got to go to bed. I am exhausted and I'm tired. So, but I want to get something up for you guys, give you a little update what's going on. Keep this podcast rolling. Like and subscribe. It's very important to subscribe. Remember, don't be envious of what I've accomplished in my life. Be inspired by what you can do with yours. Thank you, guys.
Later.